Hey there, hello, welcome to SharkCast Pod, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, the mighty Cronulla Sharks. My name's Sam Shanazzi, OG 20, 15, 12 seasons of podcasting on this great club of ours, and we're in a pretty interesting position right now, going into the second last game of the regular season. This episode is brought to you by Dysons Logistics, the Royal Mighty Yacht Club in Port Hacking, and Jason Hawes at Cripps and Cripps Real Estate. We get our coffee from Mr. Paisely's, and boy, I could do with one right now. But that's not the case. Have to wait till tomorrow morning. SharkCast Pod on all your favorite podcast apps. Make sure you subscribe for free. All your social medias, subscribe for free. The YouTube, subscribe for free. Free website, sharkcast.com.au. Get on top of it, please, and we will appreciate that very much. Thanks to everyone who's already hanging out in those places. It's a big game this week. Obviously, they're all big games from here on in. I dare say they're all must win. Unless we finish fourth, then it's not do or die, but you still want to win anyway. We are playing the Parramatta Eels 405 on Sunday afternoon. Hello to Wesley John Holmes 5200, better known as Wes. And he says afternoon to myself and to the Sharkcasters. Hope you're doing well, Wes. Now, if you would like to leave a comment, anyone, just do so in the applicable place and we'll chuck it up and we'll have a little chat about it. We're here to do TeamList Tuesday. Didn't get that across, but you should know that by now if you're not a first-timer. If you are a first-timer, welcome. We're going to go through the team list for NRL, NRLW in about 10, 15 minutes, but essentially these episodes just about catching up, talking about the Sharks, etc. So feel free to say what you want. We can chat. Future Dude has done so and said second last round of the regular season, a month of finals footy. Time seems to have gone fast. It has. It feels like a quick season, this one, in a lot of ways. But then you look back at the round one winning against the Titans 50-10, and it's like so much has happened. But I'll say this season, because of no Vegas, no Hall of Fame, all that kind of thing, it seems a bit shorter this year comparatively. But yeah, it's gone fast, to your point. Mark says the penultimate round has a nicer ring to it. You're right. But sometimes my little brain can't say things like penultimate, but thank you for reminding me. It is a great word. Hope you're doing well, Mark. Now, we play the Parramatta Eels on Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock, out at Bank West Stadium. What's it called? CommBank, whatever it's called. Out at Parramatta is what we're going to say. We're currently in 5th place. We want to be higher than that. Now, 24 hours before, in fact, let's just go to the draw right now. 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, we have Roosters v Dolphins at Allianz. Now, there's different ways to look at this, and if you disagree, let me know, because I'm trying to work it out as I go. And thanks to Alex for correcting me. CommBank Stadium, thank you very much. Now, all along, we're like, we need the Roosters to beat the Dolphins. We just need to win games no matter what. But what happens if the Roosters lose both their games? What happens if they lose to the Dolphins and then to South Sydney and we win both of our games? Looking at the ladder, I would suggest to you, my friends, that we would finish ahead of the Roosters. Now, if the Dolphins win one and lose one, we could finish ahead of them as well. So it's not quite as black and white as we thought. We need to win both games, I have to stress, to finish top 4, I think. Mark says he's doing well. That's great. Hope I am too. Thank you very much. Penultimate always reminds me of Rabs commentating. Penultimate now. Thank you very much, Mark. Hope you're doing well again. I keep saying that, but I say it from the heart. It's my go-to, I think, but that's okay. Anyway, we're playing 24 hours later pretty much. Now, the other games around us, what do we got? We got South Titans Saturday, 3 o'clock. We have Cowboys Tigers 7:35 on Saturday. The other one is Warriors Knights before us. We're the last games. Everything's happening before us, so we'll kind of know a few things. I don't know if it's going to help this team or not, but that's what's going on. NRL Dub, we play against the Roosters 3:15 on Saturday at Allianz, and I hope that we're doing a lot of tackling this week in training because it's going to be a super tough one. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But the main event, because they're doing a lot better, is the Sharks coming off a win against the Titans. Let me know what you're thinking about the Titans game a few days later. I know people were a little bit all over the shop with that and how they thought about it. But, yeah, let me know how you're feeling about that game. Parramatta Eels. We've won 50. They've won 43 overall. We've won 3 of the past 4 at their venue. We've won 1 of 3 against them, but when we played there, I think we've won 4 of 7. So we don't hate playing there, but against the Eels, we're just 1 of 3. Remember that game against the Bulldogs post-COVID? There were 419 people in attendance. I was one of them, which I was very grateful for. That was a weird experience. Thanks to Pete for being in touch. He said, love the pod. Shark fan of nearly 40 years now in Adelaide. 40 years, Pete. 40 years. Yeah, okay. That's not only a good era and a good stint, but I'm just trying to work out when you started. My little head's getting around that. But thanks, Pete. Keep watching. Keep tuning in. Much, much appreciated. Let me know who your favorite player of all time is, just for a bit of fun. So Parramatta are coming, what are they? Like, they're 13th, 8 wins, 14 losses. They've won 2 of their past 6. They lost last week to the Dolphins 34-16. 6 of their 8 wins in total have come at their home ground. So it's going to be challenging to get over one of those lesser teams. They compete pretty well. They hang tough for a while. The coach, Fitzgibbon, he said in the press conference after the Titans game that it is hard to sometimes, I guess, perform how you want to perform against these teams that have nothing to play for. Like, I understand that theory. Obviously, you need to be better than them, but the Eels is going to be another challenger. And, you know, we're going 1 week at a time. We're not even talking about Melbourne, but Eels, it's going to be tough. Winnable, perfectly winnable. No stress there. The stress will be getting the job done. Let me know if you're heading out there, please. 4:05 Combank Stadium. Eels, Sharks. There are some milestones for the Sharks. Ronaldo Mulitalo plays 150th game. Debuted in 2019, that infamous game against the Broncos. He had about 1 second to prepare. Came out of the shower after his warm-up, and Josh Dugan went down and Ronaldo went up. And Jesse Colquhoun plays his 50th game for Cronulla after debuting in 2022. Will Kennedy's a couple of tries away from getting our top 10 try scorers. So there's cool things like that. Nico's chasing his 100th win. Nico needs 7 points to become our 3rd all-time point scorer, which is awesome. So let's see how we go. Hopefully he can get it. Pete's favorite player, Andrew Eddinghausen. Mark McGaw, very close second. We're of a similar vintage there, Pete, I reckon, or at least started following him at the same time. Thanks for being in touch. Awesome. Trish says, second half of the game against the Titans better than the first, slowly making our way home, currently stopped in Nelson Bay. Now, if you don't know, haven't been following the SharkCast, as Luke Lewis calls it, Trish and Chris, and I'm not sure if anyone else, have been doing the rounds, and they've been traveling up and down to see our Sharks having a great time. So safe travels. Ash the Historian, all things Cronulla Sharks, there's underscores in there on Instagram. Give him a follow. He's heading out. Looking forward to seeing the black, white, and blue faithful in the stands. And Mark says, with regards to the last game, pleasing to see a complete turnaround after half time. For a while now, if the Sharks were off from the start, then we were cooked for that game. So, yeah, they came back from second half deficit, from first half deficit, second half, halftime deficit, second time this year only. So we don't do that very often. Hello to everyone on the Insta. I see you. Now, who would like to hear who is playing for the Sharks this week? I would like to hear who's playing for the Sharks this week. NRL, let's go. Your Cronulla Sharks at fullback, Will Kennedy. On one wing, he is certainly a flying fisherman. Sione Katoa on the other, playing game 150, Ronaldo Mulatalo. In the centres, we have Mawini Hiroti and KL Iro coming off an amazing game. Your halves, No Trindle, Nephi Peru holds his spot, and Nico Hines chasing the third all-time points for the Sharks to go past Luke Cavell. Just want to double check that. Yes. Okay. Now back to the team. Aden Fanua-Blake has been named to start. Blake Brayley, captain. Jesse Colquhoun, the other prop. Britton Nicorat, Teague Wilton, and named at lock this week, as he was last week, Cam McInnes. We know that they swapped at game times to see what happens there, but Cam has been named to start at lock. Your bench, Sifa Talakai, Billy Burns, Oregon Kafusi, Tall Tom Hazelton, Hohepa Puru, and Braden Welle. On the reserves bench, Riley Jones gets a jumper, Riley Pollard gets a jumper, and Toby Rudolph gets a jumper. So looking at that immediate bench, there is no half there, which I know worries a bunch of people. There is one on the extended, but we do know that in recent history, if a half was to go down hurt or whatever, and we hope to God that's not going to happen this week or any week, they shift around their team to make it work. So anyway, named pretty much as per last week, although we did see Cam McInnes come in onto the bench and we saw Tall Tom start, which I quite like. So we'll see what happens this week against the Eels. Different team, different environment, different circumstance, but that bench is Talakai, Burns, Kafusi, Hazelton, Puru, and Uele, with the reserves of Riley Jones, who's going really well in the centres in Cup, Riley Pollard killing it at halfback in Cup, and Toby Rudolph, who had a good return last week. For the Parramatta Eels, fullback, Arpa Twiddle, Brian Kelly, and Josh Adokar, former Sharks NYC star. On the wings, Will Penasini, Sean Russell at the centres, halves, Ronnie Volkman and Mitch Moses. Oh, come on, ref. Ref, what's going on? Ref. Playing his 50th game, Lucas Moretti at prop, Talon De Silva, watch him from dummy half. Junior Paolo, former Shark, killing it for the Eels, Jackie Williams, who we love. Katsoni Katauga and Saxton Pryke is the back row. Interchange of Harrison Edwards, Ryder Talagi, Tinkham Brown, Dylan Walker, Jack DeBellin, and Bailey Simonson. Extended bench of Kelma Tuolagi, Jonah Pezzett, and Riley Smith, coached by Jason Riles against our Craig Fitzgibbon. They never played in the same team. They missed each other by 1 year. Fitzy was at the Dragons until the start of 2000. That's when Riles joined. Fitzy left for the Super League in 2010, and that's when Rilesley joined the Roosters. They kind of just missed each other. They played each other 10 times, and Riles won 5 of them, 1 draw, Fitzy won 4. Bit of info on the coaches there. So that's what's going on. Let me know your thoughts if you haven't already. Sean says, would you name Trindle in the reserves as a break glass and emergency in these last 2 needed to win games? Obviously, he's not needed. If he's not needed, he stays rested. If we need him, we can activate him. It's a tough question, Sean. Probably one for the doctor more than me. I don't hate what you're saying. Like, I like the deep think that you have, and I love that the SharkCast audience has a very, great knowledge and opinion of everything Sharks. I probably wouldn't, because I don't think he's ready to play. If he's ready to play, they're gonna play him, right? But I don't hate the idea. I don't think it'll happen. I probably would. I do it? I guess not. If he's not ready, he's not ready. Yeah, but I respect the opinion. Is what I'm trying to say. We're hoping round one of the finals, week one of the finals. So yeah. Interesting thought, though. Appreciate it. Peter says, afternoon, wondering how long the French assistant coaches hang around. Seems to have worked wonders in the beginning, but we lost our way for a while. He's here for a few years, I think. I feel like it's 27, 28. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I think he's all ours now. So, yeah, we can ask around, do some research. I'm pretty sure someone else will probably know, but yeah, I think it's 27, 28. Let me just check something here. That's okay. Anne says, hey, up, the Cronulla Sharkies. Hey, absolutely, Anne. Thanks for joining. Mark says, more than Cavell. Would have thought him being a winger would have more points. He was pretty slow, though. Hey. No shade on Luke Cavell, one of the great original SharkCast supporters. Luke was a great Shark, no doubt about it, and achieved a lot. Captained us, so I don't know. I'd have to look it up, how many tries he scored compared to Nico, but yeah, Nico's in, I would imagine, a more successful, higher scoring team per year. I know that for a fact, actually. So there's more goals to be had, put it that way, simply, I guess. All right, Sharks have named their team. Now let's head on over to this next page. And I know a lot of you have tuned out for the season for NRLW. It's been pretty disappointing, but a lot of you are still tuning in. So I'm just going to go through the team. And we have Jada Taylor. This is playing the Roosters, so tough game. I'm looking over here at a second screen. Apologies for the angle. Jada Taylor, my mate, is playing fullback. Please go listen to our podcasts. This is how we play. It's on the SharkCast feed. It's on all podcast apps. SharkCast, this is how we play NRLW. At the moment, we're kind of just doing the 4 eps so far, but go check them out. I'm very proud of it. Cassie Staples returns to a wing with Mila Alaro, who's doing really well. Tiana Penatana-Gray, Madison Ashby returns to the centers. Georgia Hanaway returns to 5'8". Shante Kiriaratu at half. Caitlin Johnson-Green back to the front row. Quincy Dodd, Manalina Takapatolo is the other front rower. Rhiannon Byers. Tale Holmes have made an amazing comeback from post-pregnancy. Is the other second rower. Anne-Marie Kiriaratu lock. We got Coffee Brookfield, Tegan Dimmick, Jacinta Carter, my favorite player, aside from Jada. And China Palada returns from injury, and the bench is Assam, Herman, Sampson, and Hanisi. And they're really struggling for a lot of things, but including fit players. So send our support to that team. I'm not going to go through the Roosters because they're all just superstars and whatever. They're doing their Rooster thing, and I can't stop that. That's happening at 3:15 on Saturday. It'll be on all the affiliated channels where you can watch it. Alex says, if we need to win to make the top 4 and the medical team clear Trindle, then we play him. I think that's fair. That's different. Yeah, different question, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, but it's even tough then because it's still not do or die. It's do or die when you make the finals and then probably week 2. So if he's not ready, what if he's 50-50 week 1? Oh, so many questions. Now, AFB question from Wes. I don't know this off the top of my head, but I am going to look it up for you. The first thing that comes up is Fanua Blake haircut. I believe it's through until, the end of 2028. So 2028. 25, 26, 27, 28, 4-year deal. Yeah, that's confirmed. Happy with how he's going? What are your thoughts? Do you re-sign him for a bit less? You tell me. Yeah, Alex, it's not bad with the Trindle stuff. I love it. Thanks so much. Hello to everyone on the Insta. Oh, you're all beautiful people, aren't you? Everyone's beautiful in their own way, especially SharkCasters. Clevo says, if nothing else, Kieran should know Kerry Russell from Cocaine Bear. Oh, my God. And he also says the Diplomat may be Kerry Russell's finest work. So if you haven't caught up with the Catching Up with Kieran episode from yesterday, we were talking and he revealed that he didn't know who Kerry Russell, the actress, was. I'm a big fan of the show Felicity, as you can imagine, plus a lot of her other work. And I was trying to, the only thing he knew her from was from the Bon Jovi video from like 1996 or something. So Clevo has rightly pointed out that he's probably seen Cocaine Bear. So Kieran, if you get around to this episode, that's who Kerry Russell is. Mark is saying no shade on Cavell. He's kicking helpless tide with the Storm Manly. And, oh, wait, big fan. He just wasn't the fastest. You're 100% right. I'm just razzing you, dude. Half of what I say is just razzing. So we're all good. Cavell, yeah, great shark, great human being. Manager of his daughter's skateboarding career, I believe. And she's literally a champion. So good genes. Cavell, left winger. Chloe Cavell, champion skateboarder. Amazing. Now, R. Stevens says Hiroti must have Fitzy's family information, shall we say. You can read what he said. Look, we've been through this a million times, R. Stevens 11. I'm happy to go through it again and talk about it. I'm open to what everyone thinks and have they say. But they're not going to change a winning team, and you know that. And there are reasons why he's playing ahead of other people, and we've been through it in the show before. Happy to go through it again. But just because some people, whether it's you or other people, of course, don't agree with what the coach is doing, it doesn't mean the coach is wrong. It means you have a different set of opinions. I respect both opinions. They're going to play finals football. He won the last game. He showed improvement on the past 2 games. He's sticking with him as opposed to throwing in someone younger or moving someone from another position. And then I'm sure he's got a million other reasons too. So I can't speak for him. I appreciate your opinion. I know a lot of people want Michael Gabriel in there. And I watched him on the weekend in Cup. I watched every minute. He had some really good moments. He had some really ungood moments. So you can't have those moments. And I know you're going to say, well, Ma had some. It's like, okay. It's not Ma's first game in NRL. He knows how to recover. He knows how to do things. I'm pretty torn as to what I'd do at this time of the year. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you have a difference of opinion with the coach and others, and that doesn't make them wrong. It doesn't make you wrong. It's a very wishy-washy answer, but it's actually factual. So appreciate your input. R. Stevens 11, legend. Jason Hawes has joined the stream. He's from Cripps and Cripps Real Estate. Speaking of legends, any real estate questions at all, big or small, get in touch with Jason Hawes. Tell him that we sent you. Sharks forever in 5th place, hoping to be 4th or 3rd. A lot of ramifications here. Just got to win the next 2 games is what they got to do. Potentially 1 even, but that's getting a bit Hail Mary-ish. Will Kennedy, Sione Katoa, Mawini Hiroti, KL Iro, Ronaldo Mulatalo, Nephi Peru, Nico Hines. We're missing Trindle. We're missing Ramian. Fanua Blake, Blake Brayley, Jesse Colhoun, Britton Nickero, Teague Wilton, Cam McInnes named to start. Had a great game off the bench. Sifa Talakai, Billy Burns, Oregon Kafusi, Tall Tom Hazelton, Hoeba Puru, Braden Welle. Reserves, Riley Jones, Riley Pollard, and Toby Rudolph. So watch this space. Looking forward to seeing how that one pans out. It is only early days. It's Tuesday and we've got a Sunday game. So a lot to get up to there. I want to give you a bit of information on the 2 players we're missing. So Let me do that for you right now. Like right now. Let me do that for you right now. Without Braden Trindle. Since 2023, so not including his debut season where he played a handful of games. So 2023 where he played more games, he was the chosen one after Matty Morgan left. We've won 15 of 21 games without Braden Trindle. Now, this isn't saying that we don't need him. It's just saying that they've gone okay without him. Without Jesse Ramian in the team since 2022, so under Fitzgibbon, without Jesse Ramian, we've won 8 of 17 games, which is 47%. So it's not as good without Ramian. So I think that we kind of undersold how important Ramian was to this back line on this team. So Nikki says, is there any updates if the Leagues Club will be open for the Storm game? It would be great if it was for the last game. Look, nothing official, Nikki, but what I can say is that it's not looking like that will be the case, unfortunately. And I think it'll be pushed back to October, November is what I would be comfortable saying. So I would say almost like a 99% no for the Melbourne game, unfortunately. I think October, November is more realistic. It's not going to be another year. There's nothing wrong. It's actually some positive things they're doing behind the scenes, which I can't really say. It's not my place. It's nothing like shocking. It's nothing like headline stuff. They're just doing some things to make it even better. But I feel like it'll be October, November. So, it'll be worth the wait. Mark says 12 months is a long time in league. This time last year, fans were calling for Horodi to stay in the team instead of Jesse Ramian coming back from injury. It's true. It's a long time, and everything you just wrote is true. I'll say this. I think Ma was in better form. But let's see how he goes this week. I feel like he's the sort of guy that needs the runs on the board. He needs some time to get going. And right or wrong, that's just how his career has been. And I can't stress enough, it's not blind faith at all in this, what I'm about to say. But this week moving into this game, if they think he's the best guy, I'm gonna go, okay, let's see how that goes. I'm not going to question it. What I will say is, though, I'm not going to just go, of course it's the right move. That's what they're doing. It worked last week. Let's see how it goes this week. Thank you. Oh, Stephen wrote the same thing. So Stephen wrote, not long ago, fans were divided on Ramian Horodi. Horodi has the potential to be as good as he was form-wise. His last big stint that he was in the team. Yeah, that's what I was sort of getting at, Stephen. Thank you so much. That he had found form last year. So let's hope he can get it back. Wes says, Marwini is until the end with the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's very few choices. You're going to have to embrace him now. So, yeah, that's another way to look at it. Thank you so much. No worries, Nikki. Here comes Diggs 96. May the best team win. Go Para. Hey, great stuff. I love it. Diggs 96 pops up on our feed, which we love. He's very respectful. I like the Eels. I got a soft spot for the Eels. I mean, I hope that we win this week, obviously, but I've always had a soft spot. One of my best friends goes for the Eels, and I've never had a reason to sort of, I don't know. Yeah. So awesome. Thanks so much. Appreciate you hanging around. Now, this one I'm just going to throw up for a laugh. Why not? We're here for a good time. Tyson Adams says, you're a handsome man on the YouTube. Hey, right back at you, Slick. I appreciate that. I don't agree with your comments, but I agree. I appreciate that, Tyson, and you're giving me the giggles. Clevo says, as disappointing as the NRLW girls season has been, it's been wonderful that Jada Taylor has played every game this season after so much bad luck this year. Not to jinx her last 2 games. Absolutely. She's a great player, great human. I've gotten to know her a little bit by doing the podcast with her. She's only 22. Oh, actually, no, she just turned 23. So if I had like 1% of her maturity and her wise ways when I was that age, I would have been such a better human being. I would have turned out better, the whole thing. Yeah, we love Jada on the SharkCast, and that has been a positive. There's other positives. Jacinta Carter's going really well at prop. There's a number of players who will benefit from this season getting some game time. But overall, it's a huge disappointment. We can't diminish that as well. Like, it's a big disappointment, and it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of make it right in the off season and next year, because you don't want to do two of those in a row. So, and there's far too much talent for that as well. So I like the young wingers coming through as well. I don't know if they're going to stay on the wing, but a couple of young wingers we've debuted this year. And there's some good Harvey Norman younger players as well. Sorry, it's not called Harvey Norman anymore. The grade below. So let's see what happens. But yeah, I agree with you, Clevo. Thanks for the comment. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you. Haven't seen you for a while. Sandra says, I think the club will be open end of November. It'll be state of the art. I don't know what it's going to be like. Hopefully it's really lovely. I'm sure it will be. We've seen the video with Dino Mesatesta and the pizza ovens and the sandwiches and everything else. So looking forward to it. Can't wait. You're saying end of November. I think that's actually pretty accurate. Yeah, I think it might even be before the end, but I would dare suggest sometime in November you might be able to get the open doors. So hopefully. So Bob says, once again, heavy forward bench, lack of flexibility. So let's have a look at that, Bob. We discussed that a little bit. Talakai, Burns, Kafusi, Hazelton, Puru, ULA. It's heavy, brother. Reserves of Riley Jones, whose best position is centre. He can play other positions. Riley Pollard is an out-and-out halfback. Has played hooker, but you know what I'm saying. And Toby Rudolph is a prop. So I guess they're sticking with, Bob, they're sticking with the fact if something goes wrong with the halves, let me touch some wood, then they're going to do the Brayley to 5/8 or McInnes to 5/8, whatever the thing is they do, they're going to do that. And that's their way of not carrying a halfback on that bench. I don't think it's a blanket rule for Craig Fitzgibbon. I just think it's where he's at right now with what he's got. We'd love to see Rolly Pollard in first grade. You will see him in first grade, but they don't want to rush that either. So, for example, you could have Rolly Pollard on that bench and lose one of those big boppers, take your pick, and the world would still go on. And then if they're down to their last sub or whatever and they need a halfback, well, yeah, throw him on. I get it. I can see both sides of the story. I think the fact that other teams do it means there's a way for us to do it. But yeah, you're right, Bob. It's a heavy bench. I think the lack of flexibility, they would argue that's not the case with a guy like Talakai, Burns, Hohepa. They can all play multiple positions. And then Cam McInnes can play multiple positions. Blake Brayley can as well. It's not ideal to do that kind of thing. They obviously are specialists in what they do. But that would be their argument, I would imagine. I can't speak for them, but I think that would be their argument. That's what's going on. How are we all feeling? Where do you think we're going to finish? Because if we win 2 games, we could finish as high as 3rd. If we win 1 game, we could probably finish high as 4th, depending on other results. But we do need to win, preferably both games, to sort of do something special. So interesting times. They've sort of brought this on themselves. We know that. A couple of disappointing losses recently, and then just some throughout the year that you probably should have won. Mark says Burns and Talakai would maybe class as light heavy forwards. You could move Hiroti to the halves in attack. Yep, actually, I know he's got a few detractors on here, but Hiroti in the 5/8 position for Cup and the Jets has been pretty good when he's done it. Then you could move Talakai, you're saying swap them back in defense, and you think we're going to finish 4th. Yeah, so there is different options there. And I think that's what the coaching staff kind of rely on at the moment. So Sandra's getting to the point. You don't care who plays as long as we win. And once again, a great blog. Thank you very much. Thanks, Sandra. I appreciate it. Looking into more ways to not so much do this for you, but do other means of providing what I do. Maybe I'm not going to go into specifics, but other things that aren't podcasts. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But I really like doing this. I spend a lot of time doing it, and I'm glad that you're on board, Sandra. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your uni mates, tell your college, tell your schoolmates, tell your neighbors, people you sit with at the game, when you're at the pub watching the game, whatever it is, tell everyone about SharkCast because we really appreciate it. Actually, might as well reveal the big news from today. I don't look at the charts and that kind of thing that often, but lately I've had to for different reasons, and we're constantly in the top 150 to 170 sports podcasts in Australia, which is great because there's like a million of them, and we're considered like I think top 8% listened podcasts. So how they define that kind of thing, how you define it. I mean, look, I'm happy if just Sandra's listening. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying thanks. What I'm saying is a big thank you to all of you for spreading the word because there's a few things that I can look at, some metrics, and that's pretty cool when I see that we're in charts and moving up charts and that kind of thing. It means more people are listening. So that's incredible and really appreciate it. Wes says it could be argued that the big heavy bench is the best in the NRL too. That's interesting. I mean, that might be another episode kind of thing, Wes, but you know, do we have a top 3, top 5 bench? Is it the best, as you say it could be? So, I mean, I look at these benchies. Sifa Talakai could play any team, any you know, whether starting or bench easily. I think Billy Burns, in his current form, would walk into most teams in the 17. Oregon Kafusi, I think he would start in some teams on the bench for a lot of them. I'm not sure about every single club, but I really rate what he does. I think tall Tom Hazelton, I think he'd find himself in most teams, starting or not. I think our Hepapura is a bit more of a case-by-case scenario, but certainly we've seen what he can do. Braden Newell's on the comeback trail. I think that's a tougher one to kind of digest. And Toby Rudolph would be in a lot of first-grade teams too. So they're all good players in their own right. They can all do things. So it's a good bench. I don't really think about it that much, Wes, but maybe it is close to the best. I'm not sure. I know that when AFB and Talakai come off the bench, and I don't mean necessarily starting or not, but last week's second half, like that was unbelievable. Like that was just lights out, look out, get out of my way. So, yeah, interesting. So we have 4:05 Sharks at Para. We have 3:15 the day before. Saturday, we have Sharks at Roosters NRL Dub. I don't have the other grades fixtures on me, and I'm not going to look for them right now, but we'll get that to you during the week. And it's going to be a fascinating couple of weeks. If you don't have a ticket to the Storm game Saturday week and you are thinking of going, I'd pick up a ticket for a lot of reasons. It's a strong chance it's going to be our last home game of the year because I'm not sure what's happening with the final scenario. That is, depending what sources you hear and follow, it is a bit of a flip of the coin kind of situation. Depends who we're playing. But there's a good chance, to be blunt, that it's our last home game of the year. Unlike that podcast who spread malicious lies that said we would never play at Ocean Protect Stadium again. That's not true. We're back next year. It's going to be a lot of fun. But maybe last one for the year. We'll see. It's TBC. It's also Old Boys Day. It's also 10-year reunion premiership players in the house day. There's a lot of things going on, and above all that, maybe playing for the top 4, maybe playing for top 3, playing the Storm, who are going to be pretty annoyed that we beat them in 2016. It's going to be a ripper, and you want to be there. So if you don't have a ticket, I would simply get one now, because we don't have a lot of capacity. It's, 13,000, 14,000 people. So I'd jump on now, particularly if we can beat the Eels. More people will jump on board then, but I'd get in now early, and it's going to be an important game no matter what. It's going to be fun. A bunch of the SharkCasters will be in the house, so make sure you're there as well. It's going to be a good one. This week, Cronulla Multalo, 150 games. Jesse Colquhoun having a great season, 50th game. Good milestones for these guys. Ronaldo's done so much in 150. Imagine if he goes to 300, he might hold every record we own. And Jesse Colquhoun, it looked like he wasn't going to play at some point, and now he's back for 50 games, and he's had a great year, and he's a great player, and he's a big future at the Sharks. Could be captain material at some point, not sure. I know he'd do a good job. Whether Bradley lets go of it, I'm not sure, but great player and so important for us. Please, God, no more injuries. Please, God, let's heal these players. And Trindle, well, Jesse's not coming back, Jesse Ramian, so that sucks. But hopefully Trindle isn't too far away. And when he's back, hopefully he's as good as what he was. We need him back in a good condition. It's no use if he can't tackle or whatever. I mean, maybe grand final, you risk that kind of thing with a Cooper Cronk kind of style of thing. But, yeah, we need Trindle back. Nifa Peru's holding his own. Blair says, can't underestimate Power at CommBank. You've seen them win games they should not have won. They play for the badge, but we can get the job done. Thanks, Blair. Yeah, absolutely. We sort of hinted at that at the start of the show. 6 of their 8 wins this year. So they've won 8 games in total. 6 have been at that stadium. So they play their footy best at that oval. I think, without looking it up, you'd suggest it might be their last home game there and for the year. And, players saying goodbye to the crowd and to the stadium. And in this day and age, you can get inspiration out of anything. And they're going to be reaching, and they should have won a lot more games this year than what they did. They really should have won a lot more games. I don't think they're necessarily a finals team, but they certainly should be higher than what they are and won more than their 8 games. So I'm with you, Blair. Can't underestimate them. I don't want to underestimate anyone, man. Like no matter what the circumstances are against the Storm next week and who's playing and what they're playing for, I think that we can't underestimate anyone. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Going to turn this into an audio podcast for you all. So appreciate everyone who's been in touch, everyone who's left comments. It makes it all really worthwhile. And we'll be back with more episodes before you know it. Go check out the Kieran episode from yesterday if you haven't. Please check out the NRLW pods we've done. It's called This Is How We Play. It is on our feeds, but if you can't find it for whatever reason, if you look that up, This Is How We Play NRLW, you should be able to find it on audio podcast. We put it on our YouTube just to have a listen to, and there's a few social clips flying around on our Instagram and a few other places. So give it a follow, give us a support for NRLW, and tell the Sharks that you like what you heard. All the feedback's really important. So Wes says, thanks for our time. Man, I appreciate you. So thank you so much. And thank you for saying it. Every time you say it, I don't take it for granted. So you keep saying it, makes me feel good. And I appreciate it. You don't have to say it, but I do appreciate it when you do say it. Multi-appreciations back and forth, my friend. This is the SharkCast, as Luke Lewis calls it, and we'll be back with more episodes, as I've stated. Until then, enjoy your Tuesday, if you're listening to this on a Tuesday. And, yeah, audio podcast out later. Like, subscribe, share. Really appreciate it. It's all working. It's all going well. Things are kind of moving along, and that's mostly because of your support. So much appreciated, and we're going to get out of here with a little bit of a song. The song is by Sam Skenazy. It's Shinazzi. I'm just saying Skenazy to be a smart aleck. It's just like the old Italian way. Hey, Skenazy. and we'll talk to you soon. Leave you with a bit of a tune from my from my latest album. Up Cronulla. We got to win on Sunday, guys and girls. Let's go do it. Come on, let's go.